Well, hello, my party people. Welcome back to NRW. I'm your host here today, Rob, the movie guy, and I thank you very much for joining me today because today I've got the review for the latest Amazon original film that just dropped on the platform recently for the film Sound of Metal, which stars Riz Ahmed, Olivia Cooke, and directed by Darius Marder, who also co-wrote the film as well. But before I get into my thoughts, let's roll that trailer real quick.
You sounding great.
Yeah, right.
What? You telling me you weren't feeling it? You were in it. We don't need to put them all out.
I know, but we just need to film.
Your hearing is deteriorating rapidly.
We'll come back. Till then, Lou, we just keep going, okay?
No.
Lou,
No.
let's play tomorrow. Let's see what it's like, okay? I'm gonna be like a click track. You can play to me.
You have to understand, your first responsibility is to preserve the hearing you have.
I can't hear you. Do you understand me? I can't. I'm deaf. I'm deaf.
I found a place.
I think it's important that you stay here with us right now, Ruben. We're looking for a solution to this. Not this.
I need you to wait for me, okay? You're it for me, Lou. You're my heart. You're it for me, okay? You gotta wait for me. Life.
Ruben, the world does keep moving. It can be a damn cruel place. But those moments of stillness, when this crappy, mundane world suddenly becomes radiant and magnificent. All the fear is gone. That place will never abandon you.
As you can see from the trailer that the film follows the story of Ruben Stone, played by Riz Ahmed, who loses his hearing. He is in a band with his girlfriend, who played by Olivia Cooke, and as a result of that, he goes see a doctor, and the doctor tells him he's losing his hearing at a very rapid pace, and there's no way that hearing can come back, and then he's able to possibly get a surgery that could help him with his hearing, and through a sponsor that tells him that there's a community that could help him to adapt to this new lifestyle that he has to live now. He is now forced in a situation where he has to abide by these new guidelines, if you will, of having to adjust and learning how to communicate with sign languages and not be able to communicate with vocals like he used to in the past because he can no longer hear. I can certainly say that this movie is one of the most surprising films I've come across this year. I don't know if I would go as far as saying as this was one of the best films I've seen, because it is a good film. I'm not denying that by any means. But as far as being one of the best, I don't know about that. Maybe upon repeat viewing, my opinions on that may change a little bit, but it certainly was a very solid film from start to finish. In fact, it kind of had a lot of the same vibes that I remember from watching the movie The Wrestler starring Mickey Rourke, because they had that same dirty, gritty, raw vibe to it. And I thought at some point it was going to follow similar beats to that story, but thankfully that's not the case at all. And one thing about this character, Ruben Stone, played by Riz Ahmed, is that he is a former drug addict, or heroin addict rather, who's been sober in the last 4 years. And him and his girlfriend travel across the country playing gigs, and that's pretty much how they make their living. And they live out of their RV. And there's a lot of things that goes on in the film that I think is extremely fascinating. And a part of me is debating on whether or not if I should actually reveal certain things that occur in the film, because a lot of things that do happen upon discovering of how he handles these situations and how the things unfold, and it doesn't go in the direction as I thought it would in terms of like just being a very cliche type of storyline. Although there are slight elements of that, but not necessarily in the way that you think it would come across. So I think some things I'm just going to purposely leave out just so that if you do decide to watch the film, I think you may come to enjoy the film as you discover this whole journey with him along the way. But Riz Ahmed, I can honestly say without a doubt, is one of the best things about this movie. His performance is really top notch. I would be surprised if it comes to award season that he does not get nominated, because I do believe his performance is that strong. Whether or not he's going to win it, it's going to be debated there, but I do believe that he is in top running for possibly being the best candidates to win Best Actor next year. But I also will point out too that everyone else in the film, including the character of the actor whose name escapes me right now, who played the character of Joe, this guy and his relationship between Ruben Stone, I almost forgot the name of the characters, they both have, in my opinion, some of the best scenes in that movie. And it's just simple dialogue that they have between them. And you can see that Ruben is not very forthcoming. He's not open. He's just wanting to leave and wants the easy way out. And Joe picks up on that right away. He also notices that he also has a lot of addictive behaviors given his previous drug habits. And it's still very much a part of his personality. Although, thankfully, in my opinion, I think that's great that he does not fall off the wagon and revert back to the drug use. But there are some hints that it may possibly happen, but he's apparently worked very hard to avoid doing that. So a lot of credit to the character and the director and the writers to not go down that path and doing something slightly different to avoid that standard storytelling and focus more on other aspects of the character, which I thought was very important to keep the story moving forward. But as far as the use of the deaf community in this film, I loved it. I thought this was one of the most intriguing aspects of the film because I personally am not familiar with a lot of people who are deaf. I've come across a few people, but I've never actually become friends with anybody. Not for any reason, it's just that I've never come across with enough people in my life for me to develop a relationship in long terms, if you will. So having seen this in the movie, the fact that they do use real deaf people who are actors, showcasing the authenticity that comes with something like this, where someone who is just losing their hearing and how they're going to have to learn to adapt to that. And you're starting to see a lot of the character arcs for the character of Ruben. And I think this is one of the most fascinating stories I've ever come across this year. But again, I don't know if I would go as far as saying it's one of the best films, but it certainly is the most interesting and the most fascinating because of the direction they take this story. And the sound design in this film is one of the best I think that really helps tell the story, because there are certain moments where you start to hear where Ruben is starting to lose his hearing, and you're kind of getting a perspective from his point of view on how that's starting to sound to him and the frustrations that occurs during those interactions from several individuals he's coming across with. So I think this is one of the most important things that helps with the story. So overall, in my opinion, I would certainly recommend this film. I would certainly give it a super high cheers because I think this film does deserve that praise. So if you haven't seen the film, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. This is a rather short review because I don't want to reveal certain things that occur in the film because I think there's a lot for you to discover as you watch the film, and I think you may come to appreciate a lot more having not me revealing anything here for you to walk into, knowing the whole film as it progresses. But otherwise, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Did you like the film? Did you hate it? Did you think that Riz Ahmed's performance is well deserved of being possibly nominated for Best Actor? Let me know while you're down there, and also hit that notification button as well too, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already, and follow us on our social media accounts. We have a Facebook and Instagram page at New Release Wednesdays, and on Twitter at the NRW. Follow me on my social media accounts at Instagram Rob_Medina0585, and on Twitter RobMedina0585. And on Facebook, simply just Rob the Movie Guy. And until next time, everybody, thanks for your viewership here. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there, and cheers.
Don't waste your time.